Hey guys, it's Nanania, and welcome to the second in a series of Tier 11 rating trash guides. For this guide, we'll be moving on to Bastion of Twilight to tackle the trash of Senior Halfus Wormbreaker. And unlike the bosses from Blackwing, he has a ton of trash to clear. When you first zone in, you'll see a stationary pack of 4 mobs, as well as 2 more packs of 5 that path back and forth. On the left and right are a total of 4 large AoE packs, with a glowing orb in the center of each pack. The first pack of 4 consists of a Twilight Soulblade, a Twilight Shadow Knight, a Twilight Crossfire, and a Twilight Darkmender. What we found easiest is to CC the Crossfire and the Darkmender, and then have a tank on the Soulblade and Shadow Knight. Have your CC pull and your tanks peel the mobs off. Let's do a quick rundown of their abilities. The Soulblade has a constant, undispellable buff called, get this, Soulblade, which has a chance to proc a dot on the current target for 10,000 damage every second for 3 seconds, for a total of 30,000. I'm not sure if this is dispellable, but I believe it is a magic debuff and most healers can take care of it. The next ability is Dark Pool, which puts a shadow pool on the ground that deals 10,000 damage every second over 20 seconds. The pool is small and easy to move out of, so be sure to do that. Finally, at 20% health, the Soul Blade will gain Blade Barrier, which reduces all damage under 10,000 to 1 damage, meaning you have to hit him in excess of 10,000 damage to do anything to him. As for the Shadow Knight, he also has a constant buff, but it's called Shield Mastery, which blocks all melee attacks from the front. He has an armor-reducing ability called Devastate, which applies a stacking Sunder armor and does 50% weapon damage each time. The damage isn't given on Wowhead, but it looks to be between 15 to 30,000 damage, depending on the armor of the tank and the amount of stacks. The final ability of the Shadow Knight is called Dismantle, which is just a disarm for 6 seconds. I've never noticed any threat issues on this mob, but we also have our Paladin tank it. So if you have a Paladin or Death Knight tank in your raid, it would probably be best to give the Shadow Knight to them, due to a lot of their aggro being magic based. Next on the kill list is the Twilight Darkmender, who only has 2 abilities. The first is a large 30-yard cone called Hungering Shadows. This ability is channeled for 4 seconds, and if not interrupted will deal 25,000 damage and stun everyone inflicted for 2 seconds. Since your entire raid will be on this target, there's no excuse to miss the interrupt before the channel finishes. If you don't know what this ability looks like, it looks like the shadow spaghetti that comes out of the fingers. Yeah. Anyways, the second ability is a heal called Dark Mending, which heals the target for 8 to 10% of their total health. Don't be fooled by the Wowhead tooltip. This heals for a lot and needs to be interrupted as well. Also, this is the ability that the Dark Mender tends to spam, so be ready to interrupt or out DPS it. Finally, we come to the Twilight Crossfire, which has 3 cut-and-paste hunter abilities that are easily managed. Multi-shot will hit 3 targets for 100% weapon damage. Again, I'm not quite sure how much damage is taken on this ability, but it's negligible. Wyvern Sting will put a random target to sleep for 10 seconds. Then it deals damage over an additional 12 seconds when the target wakes up. This is a hunter sting and thus poison-based, so don't forget to have a healer cleanse it. The final ability is called Rapid Fire, which increases the attack speed of the Crossfire by 50%. This is a magic buff and can be spell stolen or dispelled. Honestly, this pack is very easy, and if you're well geared, it can be AoE tanked without CC. The main thing to remember if you do this is to burst down the Darkmender at the start. I don't recommend actually AoEing these down, but rather single targeting them until dead. Kill the Darkmender first, then the Crossfire so you don't have to deal with Wyvern Sting, then the Soulblade, and finally the Shadow Knight. Here's a quick clip of the fight. The next two packs path back and forth through the room and overlap each other. Their paths are staggered, and it can sometimes be a little tricky to pull. Patience is a virtue here. Here's a quick look at their pathing route. Since these packs will contain an extra Darkmender, Soulblade, Shadow Knight, or Crossfire, I really stress at least CCing one of the Darkmenders on the pull. Otherwise, tackle these packs the same as the first. The next trash before Halphus Wormbreaker are on either side of the room, and you can skip one side or the other if you like. They are fairly easy to kill though, so my guild clears them for a chance at epics. Each pack consists of 8 Twilight Phase Twisters and a glowing yellow orb in the middle. The trick here is that if you get within 35 yards of the orb, it will begin channeling on you. I believe it's 20% health every 2 seconds, but again, I was unable to find the spell on Wowhead. Just know that you will die very quickly if you're in range of this yellow orb. As for the Phase Twisters, each one has a very poorly named ability called Twist Phase, which has a 2.5 second cast time. If the cast gets through, it will deal 45,000 damage instantly, and the Phase Twister will begin channeling for 5 seconds, which will silence and pacify the target for the full duration. As a Fire Mage, Dragon's Breath is a lifesaver on these pulls and can really turn the tides for you and your raid if your healers are having trouble keeping up. These mobs are CCable as well, so if you want to go that route, you can. The final trash pack consists of 2 Twilight Soulblades, which path from Halphus's room and around the corner into where the main trash pulls are. Assign a tank to each one and pew-pew them down. That's it for this trash guide. Unfortunately, I was not able to include Valiona and Thoralian's trash due to the amount of trash for Halphus. Those will be in the next trash guide. After that, we'll head back to Blackwing Descent and see some baby drakes. See you guys then.